Good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. How's everybody getting along? Thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather Eastern and Weather Northeastern. We got a lot to talk about here. We got a big old massive ridge in the east, also a cutoff low down here across the southeast. How long is this ridge going to last, and just how hot are we looking to get before this next big system moves in here towards the end of the week into the weekend here? Take a look at this. We got a big old storm moving to the northeast here, and yeah, this could cause some havoc. Let's take a look. All right, so what just kind of havoc are we talking about here? Well, initially here heading on into your Wednesday, we're not going to be looking at much, with this upper level low here along the coastline. We're going to be looking at some marginal risk of severe thunderstorms just east of New Orleans and west of Jacksonville. However, as we get into Thursday here, that area progresses a little bit further to the north here, just south of Atlanta. So you're going to want to watch out for some strong to severe thunderstorms here from the Panhandle of Florida up through parts of western Georgia and eastern Alabama. And if you're wondering when the havoc begins, this is it, my friends. This is it across eastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, north central Texas. As we get into Friday, especially Friday evening, this is where we're going to start to see explosive severe weather development here. This is going to be, when you have this on day 4, things are going to be rough. And this is where our weekend system really starts to get cranking, and it's going to spread severe weather east as well. All right, so as we get into the HRRR model, I want to show you something here. Yeah, you're getting some beneficial rains across South Florida, parts of the southeast here. Yeah, you did have some rain showers, heavier rains, thunder showers Easter weekend. That was not very nice. But we do need the rain down here. But look at what starts to form here. I know, if this was a couple months later, you'd be screaming that this would be a tropical system. There it is right there. This is, timestamp please, there it is, 5 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. Look at that. Yeah, that's just southeast of New Orleans by this time. And look at all these rain showers. Florida is just going to be socked in with rain, heavy rain, thunder showers. Look at this. That's crazy. This is crazy to even think that we could get, keep in mind this is an upper level low. There is a very slight window this could become a subtropical system. So we're going to keep an eye on it here regardless. Look at that. The structure, and this is interesting. We're going to take a look at the the NAM 3 kilometer actually to see if this is kind of matching up. But you almost see kind of dual systems here. Maybe two upper level lows kind of competing, so to speak. But look at this. This is 4 a.m. on Thursday morning. Kind of, if you want to use the term landfall, there east of New Orleans, look at that. All right, so as we compare that with the NAM 3 kilometer, here we go. So there's that area of low pressure. This is 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So there it is, just south of New Orleans. Just a beautiful shot here. Take a look at this. Yeah, we start to get some sort of circulation going. It's not as prominent as it was on the HRRR until you get to 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Look at that. Yeah, so we're going to have something come ashore here into parts of Mississippi, eastern Louisiana, and look at that, even Mobile, Alabama on the east side. So this is going to resemble kind of maybe a subtropical system as we head inland here. All right, so let's take a look at the synoptic view here. And here it is. So that upper level low kind of makes landfall, so to speak, if you want to call it that, in the southeast. And we kind of fast forward here towards Friday. So yeah, we get into the plains here. This is where we're going to see those big thunderstorms fire. And we'll be watching the East Coast. That area of upper level low system kind of moves towards the northeast. Here it is. We kind of have two areas. We're going to have to watch the north central Gulf for potential, maybe subtropical development next week. Watch up here just around Chicago. And then we have this next system, this upper level low, moving up the East Coast. So watch this as we go in time here. Things get kind of interesting. So this system here across the southeast, the tail end of this front kind of starts going crazy here. And we have some crazy storms forming up here to Chicagoland area down through the Mississippi River Valley on Saturday. Now watch what happens as we go here towards, here we go, later in the weekend. Let's just back this up a few frames here. So as we get into the Ohio Valley, look at this. Yeah, we could have some strong thunderstorms coming through eastern Ohio. towards Sunday morning, and look at this. Yeah, I'm thinking we could have some strong to severe thunderstorms here across parts of the Northeast, western New England, as we get into mid to late afternoon Sunday into Sunday night. So please, if you're in New York, Pennsylvania, the Virginias, Maryland here, look at this. Things could get rough Sunday evening here. Strong to severe thunderstorms. This is a pretty vigorous storm system here as it continues to move to the east, and look at this. This just becomes one big old upper level low here as we wait for the next system diving south here across the north central Gulf. So we'll have to watch the potential. This is the time of year we could have some tropical development at the tail end of some of these fronts. All right, so let's take a look at your upper air pattern. Height anomalies. Good idea to get what's going on upstairs so we can figure out what the heck's going on downstairs. So look at this. As we head towards Friday, yeah, that ridge, it's really interesting to see that the ridge actually propagates towards the northeast and we get some troughiness forming as far as the southeast. So this cutoff ridge essentially in the northeast kind of hangs out. This is Saturday, and look at that. As we head towards Sunday, we got this big, vigorous trough. I am concerned on the east end of it, and I'll be updating you later in the week about this. We could have severe weather across the Ohio Valley into parts of the Northeast. And just a few more frames here. I wanted to show you next week is going to be an exact opposite of this week. It's going to be cool, damp across the Northeast. Look at that upper level low kind of gets stuck here across the Northeast for next week. And look at this. The big story across much of the central states and east is all of this heat. Very warm for this time of year until we get into next week. Harsh reality check across the east. All right, so as we take a look at the European run here, always good to take a look at this. It's like a breath of fresh air. There's that upper level low coming ashore here. That's a little bit west here on the European model, but you know, this is the same idea. That high pressure off the southeast coast keeps that system moving this direction around the periphery of this high pressure system. So as we head towards the end of the week, you know, that kind of pulls to the northeast. You see it start to move up the Appalachians and the east coast. It's not going to be a massive gully washer here, but we will get some individual smaller gully washers throughout the day, and there is that system for Friday that starts the severe weather trend. And this is gonna, you see these storms, these linear lines of storms Friday night into Saturday. That's going to continue east as we head into Saturday. Look at that, just west of Chicago. So yeah, we're going to continue to have problems here into Saturday, maybe along the whole Mississippi River Valley to the Gulf Coast. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. So look at that. You have to watch this time of year. See these linear thunderstorm complexes? Another area of low pressure starts to form here. And this is the tail end of a front. And it's something we need to definitely watch as we go in time. But look at this squall line that continues to move east across eastern Ohio. This is by Sunday, late morning, early afternoon. So let's just back that up one frame. Coming through just west of Cleveland, through Cleveland about noon. Look at that. And look at that into western New York and western Pennsylvania. We could have a major severe weather outbreak here across parts of the Northeast. So please stay tuned. Look at this. We actually have some wintry precipitation on the backside of this low pressure system. And look at that. Wow, that thing gets cranking up there across the Northeast. Look at that. That is late Sunday evening and night. The I-81 corridor of New York, and that kind of turns into a rain event as we go through parts of New England. Look at that, and there's that cutoff low forming behind it. Yep, some wet snowflakes in parts of northern Ohio, western New York, northwestern Pennsylvania. That's crazy to even think about, but there it is. It's kind of becoming coastal on us. We get some lake-enhanced rain and snow showers, something you don't want to hear this time of year, but there it is. You know, it kind of hangs out there across the Northeast. So let's take a look at total precipitation, liquid equivalent. Most of it is liquid this time of year. Look at this. This heads us through the weekend. So yeah, the lion's share of the precipitation is either going to be across the southeast, you know, with that upper level low, especially south of New Orleans here on northeastward towards Georgia, anywhere from 2 to as much as 4 inches, locally higher towards 5 inches, especially south of New Orleans here, and then into the northern plains and the mid-Atlantic as we get that upper level low, combining forces a little bit with that system to the west. And then it's towards Sunday into Monday. Look at that, a resurgence across the Northeast where we actually could see, look at this, as we go to next week, Yeah, I'm not sure if this is actually going to hold true. That's going to be interesting. That is with that upper level low that kind of gets cut off across the Northeast. So we'll have to watch. That could actually mean some beneficial rains for parts of New England. All right, the other big story here is the high temperatures. Look at this. We head into Wednesday. This is just crazy to even think about. We're going to see a massive area of 80s and 90s. Look at this here across the mid-Atlantic, mid to upper 70s. As we get towards Thursday, that heat just builds here. Look at that. Mid-80s here across a large section of the mid-Atlantic. We're cracking. It's actually kind of cooler here across parts of the south here with that rain showers and that upper level low. And then as we head towards Friday, look at this. Massive heat building across the south, mid-80s. We've toned the temperatures down slightly here across the Northeast, but I still think your warmest day will be probably across the area on Friday, a low to mid-80s across the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. As we get towards Saturday, look at this. Yeah, you're going to be some areas. Wouldn't be surprised if you're cracking near 90 here, especially up towards the nation's capital here. Look what's coming behind it, though. You got some cold air blast coming behind it here. Let's see how that unfolds here. Look at that. Yeah, bringing in some cooler air, 50s and 60s for the lakes and the Northeast. As we head into next Monday, we don't have enough data. All right, so let's take a look at the Atlantic tropical development. As I told you before, we will have to watch the North Central Gulf as we head through, the rest of Wednesday, for that matter, into Thursday. I don't think there's any chance of anything really developing. If it were to, it would be a subtropical type system. But, stranger things have happened here, so we'll keep an eye on it here. But, as the rest of the forecast period here until we get into about April 15th here, look at this. We get this feature into the Gulf of Mexico at the tail end of this front. So we'll have to watch that. Look at that. Yeah, it does kind of fizzle out with some wind shear as we head towards the Northeast. But look at this. We'll just zoom out a bit. The rest of the Atlantic, not looking too bad. You see the intertropical convergence zone this time of year is way far to the south. That's going to expected to continue. So any development that we would get would be come out of the Gulf or the East Coast this time of year. You can see that it's a little coastal there, getting cranking by the 21st. But look at that. For the most part, the conditions are pretty hostile this time of year. As we take a look out here into the Western Pacific, things have been quiet, but I was warning you last video segment that we may have some development. This takes us through the 16th. Look at this. It's pretty clear across the Philippines, up through Japan. China is clear as a bell, but watch this. As we head towards the end of the month, will we see any development out here in the intertropical convergence zone? Look at that. Yeah, we're getting quite some cyclones down here towards Australia. But, up here into the northern Western Pacific here, things don't look too bad at the moment. Yeah, this is heading towards the 22nd. Philippines are seeing a massive stretch of very dry weather here, all the way over to Vietnam, China, Japan. It is looking really nice. It's almost kind of eerie at this point. Extended outlook from hometown viewers. Bring them to the Scranton's Upper Susquehanna River Valley, Wednesday through Sunday. Here we go. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sunny skies. We're heading up towards the mid-80s by Thursday and Friday. Look at that. It's going to be feeling summer-like. Overnight lows, beautiful sleeping weather. The 50s Saturday, a chance of late-day showers, especially after 3 p.m. heading up towards 80. And look at this. Sunday, I told you so. We could have the chance of strong to severe thunderstorms. Showers throughout the day, but transitioning to a severe weather threat after 5 p.m. Maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain. Thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather Northeastern and Weather Eastern. Don't forget Facebook MeteoMark, Weather Northeastern. Also, Hurricane Northeastern at Susquehanna Weather for my local page. And guess what? MeteoMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com is Twitter at Weather Eastern. Don't forget, question or comment down below. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell button, share the video. And thanks for joining me.